So I reiterate here, the bill is dead.
The story of this great city is about the years before this night. We are free!
Hey everybody, this is Ho Ho Hong Kong with myself, Vivek Mabubani, and of course the co-host who is...
I am Mohammed Magdi.
Oh, and where can we
Here.
find you?
At your house right now.
That is right. We're actually doing it correct. The IQ question is sorted for the day. Now, if you're not in my house and you look for Mohammed, you actually go online and look for the other Mohammed.
The
right?
other Mohammed, yes.
Yeah.
on
Dude, funny
Instagram.
story, right? So I've actually contacted on Facebook the guy who owns Funny Vivek.
Oh, no.
Without the letter M. I actually
Yeah.
contacted him.
Yeah.
He responded. I was like, hey, I'm a comedian. I'd be interested if you wouldn't be... Because he only has 700 likes. I was like,
Right.
hey, I'd be really grateful if you could let
So
me
does he have a page, yeah?
He has a page.
Yeah.
So if you actually go to facebook.com/funnyvivek without the letter
Yeah.
M, it's just this
Unpaid plug.
Yeah, exactly. It's just this, don't like the page. Don't like if you do, he gets like 70,000 hits and stuff.
Right,
And he's like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah. Like,
keeping
God damn it.
Yeah. So I contacted him and I was like, hey, is it all right if, we could maybe perhaps kind of give me the username? I really appreciate it. He's like, sure, yeah, tell me how to do it. And then I was like, okay, let me quickly search online.
Yeah.
I searched the procedures. It's really complicated
Yeah.
and not even sure if that's how it works.
Right.
So then I tried to simplify because I know the moment you make a whole full sentence and
Yeah.
paragraph, they're like, I don't want to do it now.
Yeah.
So I made it in 4 points. I messaged the guy and I'm just like, come on, he's read it. When is he going to do it?
Yeah.
It's been 2 days.
And he
I
just
like-
ignored you?
So far, nothing yet. So everybody, I want you to help me out when you hear this episode. Go to www.facebook.com/funnyvivek with the letter M.
Yeah.
And if you find that page no longer exists, ta-da!
So wait, what does he do? Is he a comedian?
No, he's not a comedian. He's just some random guy that just got the page before me or
Okay.
something.
Does he
Yeah.
post anything? Is he active?
He posted I think 2020 the last time.
Okay.
So it's been a while.
So maybe
as
he's
well.
dead.
No, he replied. So he did reply. Yeah. So add Funny Vivek with the letter M unless I'm really lucky and the guy does the job within a day.
So can you migrate your page?
So this is
So with your own followers and everything to the other
So
page?
this is the second thing because I checked the whole help center on Facebook
Yeah.
and I couldn't find this procedure. However, what I saw that you can rename your page's URL.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I have the Funny Vivek URL,
Yeah.
technically I could delete that page, then rename my
Right.
old page, and that
Yeah.
should be done. Now I'm not going to be an idiot and be like, oh,
Exactly.
No, sorry,
This is your most, like the page with the most
I've got
followers.
like 60,000 something people.
Oh my
So
God.
I'm not going to lose that away,
Yeah.
right? So I'm like, okay, you know what I'll do? Let me get that page.
Yeah.
I'm going to contact Facebook, sit there and just wait, be polite, use the chat box, use
Yeah.
whatever thing I can
Yeah.
find. Be like, hey guys, you see
Yeah.
how I have both? Could I have one? Right?
The one without M?
Yeah, without the M. And
Yeah.
then they give me probably with the letter N for Nancy. I'm like, no, not a new one.
Funny Vivek Mohammed. I heard you guys do a podcast together.
Yeah, exactly,
You
yeah.
started the M. You might as well finish it.
They probably have a typo. It's like Fummy, F-U-M-M-F-U-M-Y. I'm like, no, that's two N's. Oh,
Shit.
don't stick them together.
Yeah.
So anyways, if you want to find me, Funny Vivek with the letter M without whatever, man.
Wow,
Just-
what a story.
Hey, that's what happens in my life. What do you do on the weekends?
So we had Ryan Hynek headlining last night.
Yeah.
By the time you're listening to this, last weekend, it was fantastic. Ryan is such a beast. He is so good at weaving in crowd work
Yeah.
without you noticing that this
Yeah.
is what's happening.
Yeah.
And he always have something planned for, like, he doesn't ask questions without a plan.
Yeah.
So he would ask people, are they in a relationship? But it's not for the sake of it and hoping that a joke will come out. Like,
Yeah.
he has already planned something with their answer that they haven't told yet.
You know,
So-
he's actually doing the same thing he does at school, right? He's
Oh
actually
yeah, he's winging it. Yeah, for sure.
He's got a lesson plan. Okay, today
Yeah.
we're going to work on adjectives.
Yeah.
So, hey, sorry, over here, what do you do? How would you describe your job that you do? It's like, I do it nicely. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Okay, so
good
like-
for you. Applause break.
Yay, okay, here, let me mark your paper. Anyway, so he was down there just basically, because it was his show.
Yeah.
On this past Saturday.
Yeah.
Right?
Ryan Hynek quarantined.
Oh.
So he talked a lot about being stuck because he's a very active outdoorsy guy. And
Yeah.
he talked about being stuck in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Basically, he was in actual quarantine.
Yeah.
And then he left the hotel to be in also quarantine in Hong Kong,
yeah,
basically.
exactly.
With all of us not being able
Yeah.
to leave. So
But he was lucky. He got the 7-day quarantine, right? When he came back.
No,
to
he
Hong
got
Kong.
14,
He
I
got
think.
14?
Yeah.
Still better than 21.
A lot of people, like Cassie obviously was on the podcast recently, and
Yeah.
a lot of people left as soon as they said 7 days, and everyone got screwed.
Yeah.
My friend from Egypt also left when they said like vaccinated people 7 days everywhere.
Yeah.
Actually, this is an advice I heard from him. If you're planning to travel anytime soon, don't book two-way flights. always book one way
Yeah.
because the rules change so often, and you're
Yeah.
gonna lose more money anyway on like rebooking hotels and all of that. But what he said is that because he had a two-way flight through Emirates, the rules here changed, and they put Emirates back in high category, like whatever 3 weeks. But Qatar was 2 weeks. So if you if you fly through Qatar,
Yeah.
now it's 2 weeks again. So he did
Wow.
2 weeks, which I don't even know how that works anymore.
like
Like we probably need Ben Cowling back on the podcast
Yeah,
to explain to us what the fuck is going on.
yeah. Ben Callen comes on. He's like, I have nothing to say. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, exactly.
Even I don't understand what's going on. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, I don't think I follow him on Twitter. I think he's a little confused too.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I think I was reading something where he also says that the 21 days is way overdone. Like that's absolutely unnecessary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's a shame because even I'm thinking, I'm like, you know what? Honestly, like if I were the virus, I'd be like after 21 days, going like, fuck this.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm done, dude. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be stuck with
Yeah,
anyone.
I'm stuck with this one host for
Yeah.
21 days. No, dude, I can't do that. I'm out. I
Yeah.
won't hit you guys. I go somewhere else. It's fine.
I'm gonna hit you. That's why they don't open windows, by the way, so the virus doesn't escape. Literally.
Yeah, that's why. The virus is like, I need to get out. I need some fresh air. I'm like, nah, dude. You're in Hong Kong.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but today we're actually taking a break from guests.
Yeah.
We're just the two of us, just the good old days.
Yeah.
Just catching up, but we also want to talk a little bit about, so you guys know us like now.
Yeah,
like
it's
comedians.
Yeah, exactly.
We do the podcast, we do shows around town, whatever. But I don't think you actually know much about what the hell were we doing before we started doing stand-up.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna, I think we talked about it to death, like how we started stand-up and all of that. So we're not gonna get into it. But I'm very curious, especially you,
Yeah.
because you have had, like, obviously we're good friends, and off record you're telling me about things. I'm like, the fuck, dude, I've known you for many years. You never
You
heard
never
about that.
mentioned this? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you've had a bunch of random jobs,
Yeah.
in a way. You also had an altercation with your boss, with the professor rather at the university.
Yeah.
And then you had a whole health crisis as well.
Yeah.
So let's start with you a bit.
All right.
We know also, I don't like, I'm conscious of not like repeating stuff. So you grew up here, everyone knows that.
Yeah, okay, so we'll give it like the 20-second introduction.
Yeah.
Born and raised in Hong Kong, third generation Indian family over here. Went to a local Cantonese school, was one of the maybe like 4 other non-Chinese kids in school.
Yeah.
Studied the whole time, primary, secondary, and university in Hong Kong. Graduated, and then started from there.
Side note, did you watch Squid Game?
I've watched 1.5 episodes right
Okay,
now.
so obviously it's not gonna be spoilers since it's very new still, and a lot of people didn't watch. But just like when you said you're one of 4 Indian guys in the classroom, you reminded me with the one Indian guy of the show.
Yeah. I saw the first episode, and I saw the end, like, they had to. They just had to, right?
Yeah, apparently he speaks like his Korean, not just is fluent, it's native. Like, I don't know if he's half
All
Korean
right, so
or
I'm
something.
the equivalent to the Squid Game Indian guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
That's
look at that. Oddly enough, the Squid Game in Hong Kong, I don't get the money at the end.
No.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, the money, you're not a patriot. You're not patriot
Yeah,
enough.
exactly. Yeah. So we're not giving it to you, but we'll give you play money. You can burn that when you're dead.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I don't think you understand how this game works.
So wait, how did your parents come here? Why did they come here?
So basically, grandfather and family came to Hong Kong, and when things opened up in China, and they decided, let's give it a shot. So you'll see there's a whole bunch of Indians in Hong Kong who came in like the 60s and 70s
Right.
for business, like the guys who do suits and import-export. And they came here, they did some import-export, things kind of worked out. So they said, all right, money's being made, let's stay
Yeah.
over here. My dad married my mom, gave birth to my older sister and myself, and then bam, we were just here like for like 60 plus years right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's crazy. So even in my own building, I make this joke that I probably lived in my family's lived in Hong Kong longer than everyone else in my building.
Right. Yeah.
So my Chinese neighbors, I look at them like immigrants.
That's great. Yeah, what do you know?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, welcome to my home.
Yeah.
I'll let you in the lift with me.
That's funny.
All the time, man. It's like the best because like when I go to schools to give talks,
Yeah.
they're like, so how did your family come here? I'm like, okay, first of all, how did your family come here? They're like,
Yeah.
oh, we came here last year. I'm like, oh, get lost.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. You don't get to talk to me.
But then
like
they
that.
came from the mainland, so
Yeah, so
you know.
technically they were already part of it. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, that's another discussion, people.
Yeah.
And now that I've just had to sign an agreement with the school, like I will not mention these topics. I'm like, okay, fine, let's not talk about that, kid.
Yeah.
Oh, this is another thing. So I actually get to go to school to give a lot of talks right now.
Right.
I mean, I've been doing it for years and years, right? And recently, a lot of schools, they make you kind of sign an agreement to say, I will abide by the national security
Oh,
law.
no.
Yeah. And I'm thinking to
damn.
myself, I'm like, do you know what my talk is about?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
about my life growing up in Hong Kong. Like, how am I going to like basically tread on the national security? If I say something that's threatening national security, damn. damn.
Yeah, then,
I must
yeah.
have made an impact.
Yeah, you must have made an impact, or your law is fucking stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
one of these two things.
You will not talk about your grandparents who made money in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
What? How? Because that's threatening us. What?
Oh man, that's silly. Okay, so you went to school here.
Yeah.
One of 4 kids. Are you in touch with any of the other brown kids?
So the funny thing is that I recently did a gig at Fox Club, one of these
Yeah.
really chic, slick, not
Yeah.
chic, chic is the
Chic.
brand. Yeah, chic.
Yeah.
It's like chic is like the razor brand.
Yeah,
Like, wait a second, sponsorship, please.
Yeah.
So I was doing the show and I actually met.
You
this
can
other
use
kid.
that for your beard, by the way.
Definitely, man. If I get that sponsorship, I'm shaving with that.
Let's
forever.
tag them when we post the episode.
Exactly. So I bumped into this guy Paul Singh, who actually was the only turban-wearing kid in primary school.
Oh,
and we
damn.
all spoke in Cantonese and everything. And he was at the actual gig. I'm like, dude, I cannot believe I'm seeing you after all these years. This is
Damn,
crazy.
did you recognize him right away?
Yeah.
Is he
Yeah.
still wearing the turban?
No, he wears a hat.
Oh, damn it. So did he just like go atheist? Is that a thing?
I have no idea.
Okay.
We didn't have that conversation. I didn't interact with him too much when I was
Yeah.
on stage. I didn't be like, so dude, what happened with the hair?
Yeah. Wow,
Yeah.
did you, what is your hijab, dude?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what's going on over here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was very interesting seeing them again. The others I've not seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Another friend that I grew up in secondary school, basically high school, is that he's in the States now. So we talk every on and off. So a lot
Okay.
of them know what I do. It's just that it's bizarre because like, when you think about it, like, oh my God, where were we? We were like those dumb kids running around. Look
Yeah.
at what you're doing. Look at what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So it's very fascinating when you think back to those things.
Yeah.
But the best thing for myself is whenever I think back to university time, because I've actually been invited back to my university to give talks. A
Oh,
lot of
nice.
time.
Wait, which university did you go to?
City University.
Oh,
in
right,
Hong Kong.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in secondary school, I went to Diocesan Boys School, and in university, I went to City University. And both places, I've been invited back as a guest speaker. And both times, I'm like, please invite this teacher,
Yeah.
this teacher, and this teacher.
Right.
Who said I will amount to nothing. And I want
Oh,
them to
that's
sit in
great.
my talk
Yeah, yeah.
and be like, so I want everyone to notice how I'm positioned with the
Yeah.
knowledge guy,
Yeah.
and you're in the audience guy.
Yeah, exactly. What happened,
Yeah, what
buddy?
happened?
Yeah.
You want to learn from me?
Yeah.
I have something of knowledge for you. You know? So I would joke about that all the time.
Yeah.
and
Remember the midterm when you
Yeah.
told me that I have to go rewrite the paper?
Exactly. When you looked at my writing, like, this makes no sense. I'm like, guess what?
Yeah.
This is what I do for a living, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
I speak.
When they told you back then that this is like talking shit, you're
Yeah.
like, now I'm talking shit for a living.
Exactly. Yeah. They did say you can make money talking shit.
Yeah.
I just had to position myself correctly.
Yeah.
It's all about the branding, man.
When you asked them to bring, to invite the professors, did they actually sit through your lecture?
So actually, this is I had one teacher before who came and sat down, and like I
Nice.
wasn't like on bad terms with him,
Of
but
course.
I was a kid because at university I was very well known to challenge my teachers.
Right.
The reason was two. Number one is that at some point I kind of got tired of sitting in class and listening to teachers.
Yeah.
So I decided I'm going to go to the library and read about these things myself.
Right.
And the more I read, because like when you read books, they give you like 20 details that the
Yeah.
teachers don't talk about.
Yeah.
So I'm reading these books and I'm learning all these different techniques and everything. I go to class and teacher's like, so you do this. I'm like, excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
No, you don't. The new version of the software.
Oh, they hate that.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
the worst, right? And I'm like going that. And the reason I did that because like I was a big fan of Bruce Lee's philosophy, where he's
Right.
like, you have no fear of challenging authority, but only if you're ready to
Yes.
face it. Not
Yeah.
just because I'm better than you. It's like I have a better way.
And not to just be like a pain in the ass as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So because Bruce Lee always used to challenge the classical methodology of like martial arts, and he wasn't trying to say like you suck. He's trying to say there's a better way than what you're doing.
Right.
So same with myself. Of course,
Yeah.
teachers don't hear that.
Yeah.
They hear you suck.
Yeah.
You know. So
And also, it's always like they look down on you just with age difference at least.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's
they're
like,
like-
oh yeah, what do you know? You
Yeah,
little
I'm
shit?"
the educated one.
Yeah.
I'm the one with the credentials, right?
Yeah.
So I used to challenge it and everything. All right. So when I was in university, I actually got offered a freelance job, my first freelance job ever. And this other teacher was like, hey, do you want to do a freelance project for me? I was like, sure. Is there money? He's like, yeah. I'm like, how much? He's like, 500 Hong Kong dollars. Now, for a university kid, it's like, whoa,
Yeah,
that is a
damn.
lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, what?
Yeah.
That's oh my God. Yes, I'll
Yeah.
do it. So it was actually a photo album on a CD for a police graduation ceremony.
Oh wow.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
Bizarre. So I'm
Yeah.
like, so these guys are going to be one of the people who's going to stop me on the streets in 10 years' time?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I have your photos
I
now,
know.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Remember when you were a little kid?
Yeah, exactly. When you freshly graduated, I was the guy that did this
Yeah.
for you. You like that CD?
So wait, you're supposed to organize the album or?
So you basically, they send you a bunch of photos. I got to design the whole
I see, I
album,
see.
make it into like a CD format that they could print and give as a souvenir.
Oh, okay.
Right. So now when I think
Cute.
back, I'm like, $500 that for all that work, you
Yeah.
asshole. You ripped me off. What the hell, man? man.
they at least provide you the blank CDs?
I hope so. There's no way I would afford it.
Yeah.
So I got that job, right? And then I was like, okay, so where do I start? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, where's my office? Where do I
Yeah.
sit and work? He's like, no, you just do it at home whenever and just get it done before this deadline. And I was like, wait, what? Hold on. You
What?
mean as long
Yeah.
as I get this done before the deadline, I'm good? He's like, yeah, I can work at 2 a.m. He's like, yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa,
Yeah.
what?
So
What
that
is
was your
this?
first taste of freedom, basically.
Yeah, when I was like, you mean I don't have to sit in a place and do it at 9
and
to
wear a
5?
suit, yeah.
Yeah, because like my dream was always to never have a job before 9 in the morning.
Right.
Like, that was the dream. Right?
Yeah.
So I was like, you mean, oh my God, this is it. I did it. I got the money. I got paid everything. And I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is what I love. I mean, I want to be in control. So I started like, my classmates would kind of know me for the web design guy, right? So any project or anything they'd have, they'd contact me. And eventually, when I graduated with first class honors as well, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude.
Nice.
3.99
So wait,
GPA.
what did you actually study?
So creative media, I went into new media and interactivity, which is basically programming and design mixed together.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was doing a lot of that. So it's basically websites where you
Yeah.
do the design in the front and the programming in the, in
Right,
the back as
right.
well. So I graduated and I started freelancing.
Yeah.
So here and there, whatever connections I had before, or someone might just contact me, or some event I'm at, hey, I do websites. Oh, hey, I did a website, right? And it was all for experience. Like my prices were stupidly cheap. I was like,
Right.
whatever, just build my portfolio.
Yeah, you're also, how old were you at the time?
I was like, what? I just graduated in 2004, so I was 18, 19, something like that.
Yeah.
20. Yeah. So it was no big deal. I was like, I just want to
Yeah,
learn
you
and
just-
get some
yeah,
money.
yeah,
right?
get some experience.
So I would do around like half a year of freelance and everything, and then I'm like, everything I learned in university is not applicable here.
Yes.
All that crap. They're like, okay, so what? The invoice should look like this. I'm like, nobody actually sent it. What? No, you must prepare a contract and you get to sign before you start the work. I'm like, no, you work and then they give you the contract at the end because it's just a formality.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? So I finished that. I go back to university, right? And I visit one of my old professors, and I'm joking with him. I'm like, dude, by the way, just want to let you know, all that stuff you teach, this whole lecture about introduction to new media is
Yeah.
trash. I told him straight up.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I think I've earned the credentials of being
Yeah.
straight, right? And then he's like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah, dude, it's terrible. He's like, well, if you're so good, why don't you rewrite it for me? And
Yeah.
I was like,
Done.
Hire me.
Yeah.
And he's like, I could do that.
Yeah.
I was hired as a research assistant.
Amazing.
Okay.
To basically prove your professor wrong.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So summertime, research assistant, I basically rewrite the whole class for him. 13 lectures, we go through the whole thing. I'm like, this is actually useful, this is trash, this is trash.
Yeah.
In other words, basically, I did his job for him for a research assistant income, all right?
Yeah.
So I finished the summertime, and I'm like, well, you know what? I did rewrite the whole thing for you.
Yeah.
Why don't you hire me to teach it?
Dude, you're like, this is like the plot of the movie, like Parasite.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
just
one
like,
big
yeah,
job, one at a
exactly.
time.
Yeah.
So I actually told him that. He's like, well, technically I can't because you have to have like a professor level credential to teach lectures, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, there are these workshops afterwards that instructors teach. Can you hire me for that? He's like, yeah, I could do that. You're a
Yeah.
graduate. So technically, yes, you can. So check this out. He hires me for 1 semester, which means some of these classes you have your guys in different years joining it. So like someone who was basically 1 year below me
Yeah.
is now going to take this class.
Oh,
That
wow.
I am
Yeah.
teaching. So you were my classmate.
Yeah.
You 1 year below me, but we were classmates for certain classes last
Right,
year.
right.
I
And now
graduated,
you are
and
the
now you're a teacher.
Oh, damn.
Dude,
That
so-
must hurt for some people.
First lesson, I
Yeah.
was like, you and you and you,
Yeah.
get out.
Yeah. Nice.
I was like, I know you guys.
I never liked your faces,
Yeah.
so just leave.
Yeah, like there was 1 or 2 where we used to be mischievous all together. I'm
Yeah.
like, you and you get out because I know what you're up to.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want none of that shit.
Now I'm on this stage
If I
and-
were where you're at, I will screw me over too. So no, get out.
Yeah.
And you get out. I don't like you anyway.
You sit in the back, you sit in the
It
front.
was the best, dude. I'm like telling them off. They're like, what the hell?
That's so funny.
Right? Because I show up, they're like, "Oh, why are you back?" I'm like, "You'll see."
You'll see. Yeah,
They go in and
They're
see
like,
me.
did you fail? Are you
Yeah,
doing
right.
it again?
Yeah, you redoing this
Yeah,
class,
yeah.
you know? I'm like, and then they sit down. They're like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm the
Yeah.
teacher. You see this PowerPoint? You see
Yeah.
my name over there? That's right, bitches."
Oh, man.
It was the best, right?
Did you mic drop at the end of the
Oh,
first
dude,
lecture?
I can't remember if I did that. Probably didn't because I didn't have the money to
Right.
pay for the mic repairing. But I remember the first day I was like, "You and you get out."
Yeah, immediately.
And they're laughing. They're like, "Oh, I know what you're up to." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, dude."
Yeah.
Or let me just tell you, I take all bribes. If you want to buy me lunch,
Yeah.
by all means do that. I am very picky. I have pets in my class and everything.
Yeah.
So do all the things that you were told not to do.
Yeah.
Just try to polish my shoes, whatever it
Yeah.
takes. Okay. So I teach 1 semester.
Yeah.
And then one night I was jamming with my band, right?
Mm.
And it was like basically we were just jamming. And I was really tired. I remember precisely because I was on the MTR train coming
Mm.
back home, and I was like so tired. I'm like, oh, I don't know, I'm so tired. I get home, I just crash in bed. I'm like so exhausted.
Yeah.
Next morning I wake up. I'm like, oh, I think I pulled a neck muscle or something. I'm like, oh, it's really sore. I get up. I walk into the bathroom. I look in my mirror, my right side neck is all swollen up.
Okay.
Like huge. Like I have like basically 1.5 neck right now. Okay?
Right.
And I'm like, what the hell? Oh my
Yeah.
God, this hurts. And I can't turn my head or anything. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, maybe I'll just sleep it out or something.
Yeah.
You know? And then I'm like, no, I better just go to hospital.
Yeah.
We
I mean,
go
it's
there.
something that obvious because as a guy, you most of the time you have pain somewhere. You're like,
Yeah.
I'll just sleep it off.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you're
right?
like, it's like you literally go in denial mode. You're like,
Yeah.
that's not. I don't think that's actually happening right now.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
part of me is kind of like, oh, what are they gonna do for me? You know, make me wait in the waiting room again.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
put
gonna
some
do that.
ice on it or
Oh,
something.
No. Yeah, look at me like, oh, sir, you know, this is the muscle pull. What the hell? You
Yeah.
know? I'm like, I don't know, this doesn't look good. I
Yeah.
go to the emergency department and then they basically check it as an infection and all this stuff. And long
Yeah.
story short, I had to get a biopsy. Biopsy
Yeah.
basically means they'll go in and do some surgery, cut a small piece of cell out and do some check, right?
Yeah.
So they told me, hey, there's a potential for cancer. Now, at that time, they hadn't confirmed anything yet. But
Yeah.
the fact that they told me, I was like, what?
Yeah, you like obviously as a young at the time you were what 23, 24, something
Yeah,
like
dude,
that.
it was like 2005. So yeah, it was like 23.
Yeah, yeah. So at the time, obviously, you're not even thinking of
Yeah,
possible like option for cancer. Like, it's like that's
this
crazy.
is not on the table, right?
Not on the table
Yeah,
at all.
exactly, yeah.
Like you might start thinking of it when you're like 50 above or whatever.
Yeah.
But not when you're that young and
Yeah.
healthy and non-smoker or whatever.
Yeah. And the worst thing is like every movie you've seen in cancer is like they go bald and they die. I'm like, oh, crap,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know. I'm like,
Yeah, I
oh,
still have so many of my ex classmates to bully
Yeah, exactly.
and kick out of
Yeah,
class.
I
What the
still got-
fuck?
Yeah, right. I still got to finish my marking. I mean, what's
Yeah.
going on, right? So they do the first biopsy, right? So basically, it's a small cut in my neck, take some cells out, and then because it's government hospital, they'll take like a couple of weeks.
Right.
If it's really super serious, urgent, or whatever, they'll let me know. But otherwise, a couple of weeks, and we go to see the doctor.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks pass, and it's time to go to the doctor to get my.
Is the infection getting better or the same? Or
it's the swelling's reduced.
Yeah.
But my neck is kind of weird because I had this lump.
Yeah.
Right. So I remember like I used to shave and I used to feel this lump and I was like, wow, look at me, I'm bringing muscles on my neck. Right? Look at that. Right.
Yeah.
So the swelling was gone. I could move my neck and everything, but there was something in there. Okay. Anyway, so 2 weeks later, I've kind of been reading up about cancer and everything like that. I'm like, okay, you know what? Whatever it is, you know, you
Yeah.
can face it. Oh, lymphoma, this and that. Okay, you know, if it is lymphoma, it turns out that a lot of people survive it. So okay,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be dead. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of mentally ready. I'm like, okay, if
Yeah.
they say yes, you know, I'm going to learn to appreciate life. And
Yeah.
if they say no, it's not cancer, I will learn to appreciate life.
Yeah.
You know, change my thing. If they say yes, all right, you know, you got to be strong. You can get through this. Everyone's
Yeah.
done it before. So I'm ready for no. I'm ready for yes, right? I go to the hospital. I sit down. Parents with me. I'm like, all right, doctor, what is it going to
Yeah.
be? You know, is the hair staying or going? Right?
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, we don't know.
what?
And I was like, what?
What is this fucking sport like plot twist? Like,
Yeah,
no, what
yeah.
is it? Cliffhanger. I
Yeah,
mean.
right. Like twink,
He's
twink,
like,
twink.
yeah. He's like, we will know right after the break.
Yeah, yeah. So he's like, we don't know. I'm like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, because the cells we took out your neck were all dead.
Okay.
So they got to redo the biopsy.
Is that a bad thing that they're all dead, or
I
is
have
that,
no idea.
Yeah, you
I'm
have
like,
no
I
idea.
guess my immune system was so strong, they're like killing them already. I
Yeah.
don't know. He's like, we're gonna redo it, but this time we're gonna cut a bigger piece. We're gonna literally cut out like your whole lymph node.
Yeah.
To test it out. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So this time, instead of a small cut, which is maybe the size of half your fingernail, we're doing like the size of your palm, basically.
Oh
right?
damn!
Right. So
they always
cut-
compare it to fruits, right?
Yeah. Exactly. It'll be the size of a mango. I'm like, the mangoes are nice. Don't
Yeah,
do that.
exactly,
you know?
don't do that.
Yeah. Couldn't you use a trashy
Just do
fruit?
the size of grapefruit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Or dragon fruit.
Yeah,
Tastes like
right. Yeah,
nothing.
exactly. You know. So they're like, we're gonna do it. Okay, so they do this thing, and I get the surgery. So if you actually look at me closely, you will find that the right side of my face and my neck, there's a slant on my chin that's more slanted than this side.
Oh really?
Right? If you
Oh,
see over
interesting.
here, I've got like anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
So okay, so I do that, and then it's confirmed it is lymphoma, right?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's confirmed, and they want to do some more check to see if it's in my bone marrow.
Yeah.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I want to let you all know.
Yeah.
If you have ever complained to me about pain, and it is not related to getting your bone marrow
Right.
out of your bones, that's not pain, okay?
Right.
Bone marrow, when they try to get bone marrow out of you, they basically get like a drill, and they go through your pelvis and just like drill into like just like actually
What?
yeah, dude, like they're drilling in. Okay, so I'm on the bed lying on my stomach. They're drilling through my pelvis with. I mean, I have painkillers, whatever going on.
Right.
But I can still feel it, right? And I remember my sister's there, and helping,
Yeah.
being there with me and everything. They're drilling through my pelvis on my left side. I'm like, oh come on.
So they
sister.
have to take bone marrow like sample.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They want
okay.
to check if the
And the pelvis because it's a thick bone.
I
or-
believe so, yeah,
Okay.
because they want to check if the cancer is in my bone marrow
Right.
as well, right? So because that's another level of
Yeah,
danger.
that's like you need transplant
Yeah,
and the whole
exactly.
thing.
Yeah. So they do the one side. Okay, I'm there. I'm like, I'm like, dude, this is pain. This is
So
crazy.
it's literally like a screwdriver going
Yeah,
in.
yeah. It's like having someone with high heel
Yeah.
just basically jam their high heel into your
Ah.
pelvis, right? Like that. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm like, oh my gosh, this is I'm like thinking to myself, like, I finally earned the credentials of any pregnant woman saying about pain. Like, bitch,
Yeah.
No, you don't get to talk to me about that. Let me tell you this. You might have been giving stuff out, but I've got stuff going in. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So they do one side, and I'm like, and finally the doctor's like, okay, good. Okay, we're done. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna do the other side. I'm like, what?
Why?
I'm like, dude. He's like, yeah, there's two sides. I'm like, what?
Ah.
Why did you do the middle?
Yeah.
Why the hell did you do one side, man? So we do it all over again. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
God, right? So finally they check bone marrow's all clear.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so long story short, chemotherapy.
Yeah.
Right, I'm doing chemotherapy 6 sessions, basically over 3 weeks each. So
Yeah.
6 times 3, basically almost half a year time. We do that. I lose my hair every 2 weeks and everything.
Yeah.
It's really bizarre because like,
Was it like no eyebrows, nothing?
dude, eyebrows were falling. Basically head hair.
Dude, I can never even imagine you with no hair. That's like such a big
Dude.
part of your identity.
Yeah, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So check this out. So okay, you know what? I'll give a spoiler. I'm doing this my solo English show in December, right?
Yeah.
And the name
Yeah.
is actually going to be called Humor Along My Hairline.
Oh, oh, that's great. That is such a good name.
So the idea
Yeah.
is to go through my comedy life
Yeah.
from the beginning of where my hairline was all
Yeah.
the way up to where it is now.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. And in the show, I'm actually going to show, I have a picture of myself bald during cancer
Right,
time, and I'm going to
yeah.
put that in the show.
Right.
just to
Okay.
play
So
it
you
up.
have like some sort of PowerPoint
Yeah, reference
thing
where, yeah,
behind
exactly.
you.
So it's a big screen and everything, right?
Yeah.
So the funny thing is, like, I've actually seen myself bald.
Yeah.
And it's terrible.
Yeah.
Which
No,
is-
but then the cancer bald is different from normal bald.
Yeah, but I
because
mean-
when you're bald, like you can just shave your head and keep your eyebrows.
Yeah.
And
Cancer's like
beard.
no eyebrows as well.
Yeah.
But the problem is I'm saying it's terrible not because of the hair part. My skull shape is terrible. Dude,
Do you have like the potato head?
I have like a
situation?
slant. I have my head is actually kind of the
Ah,
wrong.
yeah.
It's not symmetrical. So I definitely hit my head somewhere when I was
Right.
young.
Yeah,
and my
yeah,
parents
they
have
dropped you when you were a
Yeah, oh,
baby.
for sure. Yeah, for sure. Like bam, I was like
Your
oh.
mom would never admit it.
She would, yeah. That's why it's not like I'm left-brained or right-brained. I'm like slant-brained. Okay, so anyway, so basically I'm losing hair, all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And then I used to joke about how actually now that I think back, cancer was actually pretty good because I get a lot of perks.
Right.
For example, you never have to make your bed.
Yeah.
Right? You're just lying and be like, I'm too tired. You
Yeah.
move for me, right? And
Yeah.
so every 21 days, I'll get my injection. So
Yeah.
again, real quick, when you first get the injection, for the first 10 days, your health is going worse and worse. It's like poison. Chemotherapy is like
Yeah.
poisoning, right? And then after that, for the 11th day till the 21st day, you're getting better. So by
Yeah.
the 18th day, you're kind of like, okay, you know what? I feel energetic. I can do stuff. And those are the 2 days I have to use to go meet my friends or
Yeah.
have a meal or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I love meeting my friends on the 19th day for lunch or whatever.
Yeah.
We'll have a fancy lunch. Like, come on, Viv, whatever you want. Let's
Yeah.
have whatever you enjoy. I go have a nice meal and everything. And at the end of it, I'm like, guys, I have cancer. Do I have to still split the bill?
That's great. That's always your big reveal after like arenas.
This could be my last supper.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you want to know that you didn't? They're
Yeah.
like,
Are you
asked-
sure you still want me to pay?
Yeah, exactly. They're like, all right, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm looking at them like, this is why I came here.
This is why I have cancer.
Exactly, yeah, right. I'm pulling out the cancer card all the time. By the 6th time, they're like, Viv, we get it.
Come on,
okay?
yeah,
You're still
exactly.
here, yeah.
It's like how much longer are you gonna milk it for?
Yeah, exactly.
Like until I don't have cancer, you assholes.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Even now I could be like, any moment, after
Yeah.
check up every year, you never know.
Yeah.
This year might be
Yeah,
the year.
guys, I had cancer.
Yeah, I had. Yeah, exactly. I love
Like when you bomb on stage, I remember someone with a viral video recently going,
Yeah.
people died in New York.
Oh, yeah,
so you
yeah,
guys
yeah,
can
yeah,
laugh.
exactly.
So basically, backstory: unknown person goes on stage, and the video goes viral on Reddit, but for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
The video goes viral on Reddit/cringe. So it's a comedian in Hong Kong, and he tells a story. He tells a quote unquote joke on stage. About 9/11.
Yeah.
And the joke was. What was the bit?
I forget. No, Circle K. ISIS K.
Yeah. So he makes a joke about Circle K and ISIS K.
Yeah, something like Hong Kong has its own ISIS K. It's called Circle K. Something like that. Yeah. And the
exactly.
audience
That's
is like-
basically it. And the
Yeah.
audience like give him like nothing.
Yeah.
And then he goes because the show was on 9/11,
Yeah.
the anniversary, and he goes, people died in 9/11. I was there.
Yeah.
People died in 9/11, so you can laugh at this joke. Not
Yeah.
just that. He says, I'm gonna tell it again, and
Yeah.
this time you will laugh.
Yeah. He's like, you better give me better laughter.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah,
Oh,
so that
man.
made the rounds on Reddit for a while. But anyway, so it's the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Oh man. So anyway, so like we finished, everything's good. I used my cancer card as much as I could.
Yeah.
And then eventually, I'm all healthy. It's been like more than 10 years now. So
Slow down. So you do the 3 rounds of chemo. Was
6
it?
rounds. 6.
6 rounds.
Yeah.
So over 6 months, or
Basically every 3 weeks. You do
Yeah.
one. You get your injection.
Right,
So
yeah.
you're basically going. It's like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Basically, like, I'm not feeling good. I'm feeling
Yeah.
terrible, and I'm feeling a bit better. And
Yeah.
then bam, injection again. And to be very honest with everybody, I've always been given this question all the time: would you rather not have gone through this?
Right.
And to be very frank, I would still want to go through this whole experience. Like it was a
but
very
but you also go through it knowing that you'll survive.
well, yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, with that one condition.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just redoing it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
exactly.
Gonna re-risk it. Yeah.
Yeah, redoing and re-risking is two very different
exactly.
things.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
The lesson's already learned. No, because
Yeah.
the lesson was really good, and this was actually one of the catalysts for my comedy.
Mm.
Because I remember I'd always loved comedy. I was always like a big fan. Like, oh, I want to try it one day. I don't know where. I don't know when.
Yeah.
And I remember that I saw an article in a newspaper that said comedy competition. Like,
Yeah.
This was after I was through with cancer. So I finished cancer.
And you had never done comedy
Never
then.
done comedy.
Yeah.
So 2006, I was done with the chemotherapy.
Yeah.
And 2007, I saw the ad, and I was like, I think this is it. This is the opportunity.
Yeah.
And no, most people would be like, I don't know, man. I'm not ready. I'm
Yeah.
nervous.
And you're like, what? Yeah. What could possibly happen?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm
I
like-
will die on stage. Like, oh, boo.
Yeah, exactly, boo. Yeah. So I was thinking, and honestly, I was like, well, if cancer can't kill me, what can a non-laughing audience do to me?
Yeah.
So I just did it, and I loved it, and ever since there, that happened.
Damn.
So I actually one time told people, so I want to tell you all, if you have kids, I highly encourage you guys to let them know, hey, get cancer. It's gonna be great. Like, it's a really good lesson to learn. Forget
Yeah.
the extracurricular activities.
Yeah.
Forget all the basketball camps. Dude, just get some cancer. Get it young. When you're strong and everything, you can
Get
learn.
it young.
Because the earlier you get it, the chances of and the lessons learned. Because if you're learning
Yeah.
a lesson at 60, you got like 10 more years.
Yeah,
You're gonna
exactly.
fly. But when you're at 20, you're like, dude, I can apply this to my whole life. And so hopefully with that, your kid might end up being a comedian.
Yeah.
Or it might, chase
So
their
basically,
dreams.
your advice is like when the kid is like 3 or 4, you start just getting them on cigarettes right away.
Cigarettes,
Yeah.
McDonald's,
Yeah.
and when you eat like roasted meat in Chinese restaurants,
Yeah.
only the black parts. Only the black parts.
Yeah.
The kids will love it.
Yeah.
So you're being a good parent.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a win-win.
And and you get to build the immune system pretty early. I feel
Exactly.
like actually parallel to that, the COVID situation in Hong Kong right now,
Yeah.
they're freaking out and there's basically no COVID.
Yeah.
We should start giving COVID to people.
Yeah.
So they can get the immunity pretty early on. Because side note, and I'm gonna go on a rant here, I fucking told every one of
booster.
you the fucking thing doesn't work. It doesn't work. There is now go back on SCMP. They already saying that the immunity is going down for everybody in Hong Kong because it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So now we're on boosters and the whole thing. So my solution now, just get COVID.
Yeah.
Because your immunity is gonna be better.
You're getting the real deal.
You're getting the real deal. You're gonna build white cells or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't. Clearly, I'm not a doctor.
You know what? I think you've made a very good parallel. You're basically saying, look, everyone's objective is to be a really funny comedian. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, most people say, I'm going to go to some speech classes.
Yeah.
I will go to maybe a Toastmaster event.
Yeah.
Speak over there. And then you're like, dude, just go do comedy.
Yeah,
Go to an
exactly.
actual open mic night, do your stuff, get bombed, get booed, get whatever, and then you get better. They're like,
Yeah.
no, but I feel like the Toastmasters is more supportive.
Yeah, yeah.
They're going to help me out. At speech classes, they'll teach me the techniques. I'm like, dude, it doesn't work that way. You need to get on that stage, and when
Yeah.
the light is not on your face, you got to find the light. When the
Yeah.
mic is cutting out, you got to figure it out. When
Yeah.
you have someone walking over you, walking past you when you're on stage,
you
got to
just
figure it out.
figure it out. Exactly. You're on your own.
And so what you're saying is COVID is stand-up comedy.
Yeah. I know people here in the scene who are the COVID of stand-up comedy.
Oh man. Oh, let me tell you that. They're definitely not going away.
No, they're not going away. No amount of boosters can kill them. Actually, they can only die with their own doing, which they do every week on
Yeah,
stage.
exactly. All the reincarnation keeps happening. It's like, why are you back? Oh, man. So that's how the whole process of myself from, hey, this young kid with, hairline perfect and everything. Well, not perfect, but good.
Yeah.
All the way to comedy. That's-
Actually, that also explains why you're so proud of your hair now.
Oh, yeah.
Because you, at some point, you lost it all.
Yeah.
And you're like, now I'm going to keep as much hair as possible.
and it's also my ego.
Yeah, of course.
It's got nothing to do with cancer. I'm just
Yeah.
like, please just keep it there. Keep
Yeah,
it there.
yeah.
So I like the funny thing is that now when I comb my hair, like I always talk about how when I first started in comedy, my hairline I was so confident with it, I was brushing backwards. Do you
Yeah.
understand? I was combing my hair backwards.
Yeah.
That's confident. That's like, I got so much hair, I don't need this
Yeah,
much.
yeah, you don't need, yeah.
Right? And then now it's like nothing more than nothing more than sideways.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
it's-
you just need it to be like as much volume
yeah,
as
exactly.
possible.
It's front or side. Only 90 degrees. This doesn't do 180. You do 90.
So when the last health scare happened to you, did you freak out thinking the cancer's back?
No, I don't think. They said there was possibility because of my immune system and
Yeah.
everything, but what they felt it was that it might be because of the cancer chemotherapy all those years that has compromised my immune system.
yeah.
So maybe it was that. But so far it doesn't seem like it because the cancer guy's like, no, you can't blame us. It wasn't me. They were
Yeah.
like, hey, that's too long ago. You can't blame me.
Right.
And then the main guys now are like, oh, we're still trying to figure it out. I personally still say it's still my stress. Like I
Right.
was overly stressing myself out last year, and I think that just compromised everything completely. Right? But hey, you know what?
What's the reason of the original cancer?
I feel okay. So again, when I was in university, I was very famous for one thing. Every lunch was roasted pork. The barbecue
no.
pork. Every lunch,
Yeah.
man. Pork's neck and the red barbecue pork.
Yeah.
Right? I would go there. The guys over there look at me. I'm like, that's right. I'm back.
Yeah.
And then looking at every day, the chefs are like, dude, this Muslim is terrible. I'm like,
Yeah.
not Muslim.
yeah.
I can
I
eat
actually
this.
assumed the first time because of your last name that you're Muslim
Yeah,
as well.
exactly, yeah,
Before
yeah.
I ever met you, when I saw your name, I'm like, he must be Muslim.
Yeah, you got that, and also you got the little goatee and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
yeah.
So I get it, So I'm eating that every day, and I was like notorious.
Yeah.
Guy, like I'm doing that again. Like, dude, this guy's relentless. you
Yeah.
know? He's like, I'm like, when there's a will, there's a way. Right?
Yeah.
And I feel it was like every day eating that roasted meat that
Yeah.
had an impact. And I was also a very anxious kid. I was always like, come on, we can do it.
Yeah.
So I think all that added up, the anxiety, the poor eating.
And that's why we don't eat pork.
that is right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
in case you need a case study of why Muslims don't eat pork and why we're right,
Yeah.
just listen to this episode again.
yeah, unless
Yeah.
for your kid.
Oh yeah, you give all the pork to your kids.
Exactly, yeah.
Exactly, along with the cigarettes and maybe a shot of tequila then.
Yeah, why not, right? Let's do this. All right, so that was a long story. Oh my God, I ranted for 30 minutes, man.
Dude, that's amazing. Yeah, I am actually very happy to hear the side
Yeah.
because I don't actually you didn't really tell me any of this even
Yeah.
off record.
Oh yeah,
so
generally I very
you
rarely
don't really
sit down
talk
and, like,
about that a
about,
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So right now, do you think you can write a book?
Right now, I think someone can write a book for me.
Oh wow.
I'm too goddamn lazy about
Yeah.
that. I'm like, no. I think honestly, I've always told myself this is that whatever happens in my life, it's another chapter in my book that I'm
Right.
one day get to publish and talk about.
Yeah.
But actually, one of the goals is that I really want to be able to do a full stand-up show about my whole life story and all these
Yeah.
ups and downs. Because
Yeah.
I watched some comedy shows before where it's just purely funny.
Yeah.
It's cool. But I'm like, I'm at a level where I want more emotion than just laughing, right? So actually, that actually brings me to that show that it's not out for sales yet, but
Right.
the
Yeah,
humor-
let's talk about
yeah.
it a
So
little
humor
bit.
along my hairline, which I believe sales will be open on 1st of November.
Nice.
Right? I'm
Where is it?
At the Applause Theater in Ocean Park.
Nice.
That's where Jim Jeffries performed.
Wow.
I'm doing that room, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So it's
That
like,
is epic.
yeah, so 700 seats. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
man, I need every relative.
And it's
to
in English.
English, yeah. I'm
Nice.
doing the show in English.
Yeah.
During the daytime, we're going to do, using the same room, doing a charity show in Cantonese just for charities.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just kids come. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter, right? But that night, I think we're going to set it for 8 p.m.
Yeah.
And I'm basically going to talk about comedy or basically my life from the moment I started comedy or
Yeah.
in school when I had my hairline all the way down there and like all the way up to where I am today. Yeah, so I'm going to incorporate.
So we're basically following your hairline along with
Exactly.
your timeline.
Yeah, exactly.
okay.
Yeah. That was the whole premise and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
So I've already got the poster designed. It'll get released next week. And the idea, because basically, I'm trying to look through all my archives of photos that I have of myself, and like every time I look through, I'm like, you asshole. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh goddamn, look at that hair. Look at
Yeah,
what's going on.
yeah, fuck
So
you.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm trying to find all that stuff.
I do look at my old passport photos and
Yeah,
stuff.
right?
I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah. What the hell, man? That guy was. This
also,
guy.
I always say, people look at my I have a whole bit, and I only do it on very long shows.
Yeah.
When I talk about my passport, because my old passport is handwritten, and actually at some point
I heard it once. I've heard this one once.
Yeah. Because I toured with it here.
Yeah.
Actually, at some point, I had a show called My Handwritten Passport.
Oh.
And I brought it here to Hong Kong as well.
Yeah.
And it's true. I actually show it on the show. But the point of that is, sometimes people leave the entire handwritten passport and just make fun of the photo.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, man, this is the same person, but this guy had hope.
Yeah.
That's the only difference. Yeah, this one, not so much anymore.
yeah,
This one
exactly.
understands.
Yeah, the
So I
handwritten
look at him,
guy.
I'm like, what were you thinking, you idiot?
Yeah.
Look at you, full of potential.
Yeah. Oh, it's bizarre. Like when I look back back at my time in secondary school with my classmates. I was
Yeah.
like sitting over there, like, dude, you're an idiot, man.
Yeah.
Like, you thought you were like, oh, look at me, I'm 18, man.
Yeah.
I know the world. I'm like, you're such a fool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which is weird because like when I go to schools now and I see like these young kids, I'm like, I get it, dude. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Like when they're sitting there rolling their eyes when I'm talking, I'm like, I get it, man.
Yeah.
How would you? I'd be like, ugh, another talk about social respect. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have that, and I get it. It's so weird. Like when you're older now, I'm like, man, I can't believe I'm telling these kids like, oh, you're wasting time.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's
Do you
do-
actually, how honest do you go with them? Because obviously you still have to kind of give them hope.
Well, okay, so when I go to talk to
Yeah.
schools, so I've actually been doing that since I think around 2012, and there's different angles that I go about it. So the most common one is basically just learning about how non-Chinese people live in Hong Kong, or like this non-Chinese
Right.
person growing up in Hong Kong, how he
Yeah.
became part of society.
How if you're going to Squid Game as the brown guy, how to survive.
Exactly.
Basically.
Yeah, exactly. The first episode, remember, save one guy and
Yeah,
like you for the rest
exactly.
of it. Yeah.
Make friends with the majority.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the trick, everyone.
Yeah.
So just make sure you see that guy next to you ugly, become his friend. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So actually, most schools, I'm pretty much 99% honest because I kind of want them to know that hey, I went through the same struggles you're going through. Like learning Cantonese, I talk about how hey, I used to go to a tutorial class at 3 hours every single day. It was terrible. It sucked. I hated it.
Yeah.
And I bet you right now, you're like, oh, this is so, I hate it, right? But I tell them, I said, I promise you, give yourself 3 years. Just let it suck for 3 years. And I guarantee after that, easy, done.
Yeah.
Right? So I was like, it's just a matter of like, I'm telling you from experience, I really struggled for 3 years and it was really painful every single day. But for the rest of my life, unconditionally paying me back.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So you have that. And it's fun.
Yeah,
because,
your
like,
life would be very different if you don't speak
oh,
Cantonese.
for sure.
here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the world I would see is very
Exactly.
different. as
And
well.
also like the doors that have opened to you
For
because
sure, yeah.
you're
my Cantonese.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
Cantonese. How many in the public life in Hong Kong, how many like in the entertainment business, how many people who are not ethnically Chinese speak fluent Cantonese?
I would say maybe like 4 or 5.
Damn, that's
Yeah.
so small
It's
for
so
like
small.
a city of almost 8 million people.
Right?
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is that even if there are no other like, well, there's like Kyobobo, who's like the most famous TVB artist. Well, he's not TVB anymore. He's left. He's done his own thing.
Yeah.
And he was known to be an actor, funny actor. He would do a lot of funny roles, but he's not a comedian. you
Right,
know?
right.
There's no other real like bilingual Indian comedian
Yeah.
in Hong Kong.
Wow.
You
Or
have
not even from any other ethnicity that is not Chinese.
Let me just think. Comedians or
Yeah, like in the
Oh,
entertainment.
well, there are.
business.
Yeah, there's like a Caucasian. There's 2 or 3 Caucasian guys who speak good enough Cantonese. I wouldn't say
that
fluent.
like do like the token white guy role in movies.
Yeah, a lot
Okay.
of those, and every now and then they need the white guy speaking Cantonese.
Right,
and of
right,
course,
right.
Gregory Hogoing, who
Oh,
we
yes.
had over here.
Yeah.
He's like the most famous one anyway. So he
Right.
speaks very fluent, like to the point. It's like, wow, this guy can actually have a full conversation.
Yeah,
with
so
you.
he's like the Dashan of Hong Kong,
Yes,
basically.
correct. Yeah, the Dashan, exactly.
Yeah.
So you have that. However, I think that it's interesting because I think the entertainment in Hong Kong's growing now. Like, for example, there was this movie called My Indian Boyfriend. And it
Oh,
came
yeah,
out,
yeah, Mai
right?
Trey
Trey's
is,
in it,
yeah, playing the mother.
Yeah, so the main actor, he's also basically, I believe he's Pakistani.
Yeah.
And he speaks fluent Cantonese as well.
Wow.
So the new generation's coming.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all happening now, the new
Yeah.
generation. So that's going to grow and improve as well. But when I go to schools and talk to a lot of these kids, it's really interesting because the cycle is the same.
Yeah.
You know, there's hopelessness is there. And I always talk about how I tell kids, I'm like, look, get out of where you are. Like, if you live in, let's say, new territories,
Yeah.
get out and go somewhere else. Go to Central, go to this area, go to Hong
Yeah.
Kong. Just go check it out. And
Yeah.
it'll blow your mind because the truth is, it's really weird. When you live in a certain area, you're stuck by that mentality,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I can totally relate to that. Just moving recently
Yeah,
to
from
Hong Kong
Shenzhen.
Island from Tim Tat.
Yeah.
I also haven't been back. So I moved like more than 2 months ago. Haven't been back. I went back to Kowloon once
Yeah.
to like watch movies at I Square. But it's not even because fuck Kowloon, I moved to Hong Kong Island. It's just because like you're so stuck in your own bubble.
Yeah.
And it's very quick. You're very quick to get adapted to your own
For sure, yeah,
environment. And you're just, this is all I know now.
Yeah.
Like I moved to Hong Kong Island and in 2 weeks I'm like, yeah, this is I think I lived here all my life.
Yeah. It's easy.
It's very bizarre.
Yeah.
But so was me when I was in TST. It's the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah.
I would only come here to do shows. Other
Absolutely.
than that, I'm like, I live here. Why would I go anywhere else?
Oh, yeah,
This is
yeah,
my
yeah.
restaurant. This is my supermarket.
Yeah.
This is my bar, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, full on. So I go to a lot of different schools in different districts, right? So let's say maybe on Monday I'll go to school in Wan Chai.
Yeah.
Then on Monday afternoon I'll go to school in, let's say, Yuen Long.
Yeah.
And it's 2 different worlds.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, like completely different in the mentality, the pace of walking.
Yeah.
What are people doing? Are they looking at their phone, reading
Yeah.
a book? You know, it's so bizarre. And I'm not saying which is better better or worse? Because like I know like where I'm at, it's always high energy.
Yeah.
And there are days when I'm like, dude, I'm so tired because I can't stop, but everyone's walking. I gotta walk. I gotta
Yeah.
keep going. And when I go to let's say Yuen Long, I'm like, wow, I finally have some space.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
People are actually slowing down.
Yeah, like
they're
they-
on bikes.
Yeah,
It's pretty
they're-
cool.
Yeah, they're actually smiling.
Yeah.
You know, you have that as well. And so I appreciate both sides, but this is the one advice I always tell kids in school, especially on career day talks.
Yeah.
That's another bizarre thing. I get invited to a lot of schools to do career day talks.
To advise them on not having a real job.
Exactly. But like, so my dream was nothing before 9 in the morning. So
Yeah.
technique number one, every time your teacher says something,
Yeah.
disagree. Tell them they suck. Yeah. And then they'll hire you to teach their job for
Teach their
them.
job for them. Nice. And tell more kids to not listen to
yeah.
their teachers.
Exactly,
And they
yeah.
still keep hiring you.
Yeah.
This is almost like rehiring Ricky Gervais for that Golden Globe
Yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah.
Every time he shits on everyone.
Yeah.
And then they just hire him again.
It's like I bet you anything he does it, and all the organizers are like, never again. We can't do that.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
yeah.
And then they see the statistics online, like, oh my, how many people watch this?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, we gotta get this guy back.
Yeah.
He's not shitting on us.
Yeah.
So whatever, right?
I mean, he does, but the ratings are so high.
They're so high, yeah.
That they're like, oh shit, we have to give him back.
Yeah.
And every time he's back on, people only watch it because he's hosting.
exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and I think that's also the good thing because like they realize that at the end of the day, even if you don't get him, who are
Yeah.
you gonna get?
Yeah.
Who's gonna be willing to fill those shoes?
Exactly.
Like, I'm not-
Yeah,
I'm
no
not
one
doing
can
that.
top that anymore.
Yeah, unless you get like a class, let's say Billy Crystal or something
Yeah.
that goes back to the classic his style.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't think he's gonna be doing that.
But not just that, like it's now all gonna be comparisons. Like if someone even does that, but like
any
on the-
insult is like,
any
oh,
insults, like oh yeah, you're only
trying
doing
to
it.
be,
Yeah.
It's like the Key and Peele versus Chappelle show kind of
Right,
thing, you know?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you're trying to be Chappelle. No, we're doing our own thing. you
Yeah,
know?
but no,
It doesn't- you
the
can't.
shoes are too big to fill.
Exactly. Yeah, you have that.
So the kids, do they ask you if it's like, how do I be like you? Is that a common question?
So you actually get a lot of kids asking like, so how can I become a YouTuber?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, first of all, I'm not a YouTuber. Okay, if you've seen
oh,
my
you're a
YouTube,
TikToker. Sorry.
no. The reason I say that is because if you see my YouTube channel, you'd be like, he put a video last year.
Yeah.
That's his last video.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, man, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. And I tell them, I was like, look, I think the best thing is to figure out what you enjoy.
Mm.
And I think for myself, comedy is something I thoroughly enjoy. Like if you told me for the rest of my life I can only do comedy and nothing else, I'm like, I can live with that.
Yeah.
But if you told me I can do everything I want and achieve it, but not comedy, I'm like,
Yeah.
that's gonna
Shit,
not
yeah.
happening, right? So usually a lot of those talks, and I explain to a lot of kids and the parents as well,
Mm.
because what you find is a lot of parents still have the old traditional mindset of, I want a stable job and everything. I said, look, to be very honest with you, today's world is not about the stable job or not, right? Any business will go out any moment, and you got to figure it out.
Mm. Right.
The thing is that because of the internet, that it's so easy to someone to basically replace you,
Yeah.
that you could lose your job tomorrow because they just don't like you.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
So you have to figure out a way that you rely on yourself. And my quick tip to all the kids that I say, the best thing to invest in is yourself. Because you are always going to be with yourself.
Yeah.
So the better you are at your skills, they can't fire you and you can't lose the skill, right? It's
Yeah.
not a machine that you're going to lose. It's like, this is who I am, this is what I have. So
Yeah.
if you're investing in yourself for your own skill, then wherever you go, you just got value that you're walking around. So hopefully that way they're inspired by that, and like, okay, I'll invest myself, that sort of thing. But coming back to the whole point of this whole talk is that before comedy, I actually was a web designer as well.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So
So you had a whole full-time job as
I
a web
had-
designer.
So I've worked 6 months in my whole life as a full-time job.
Right.
That's all. I've never
Yeah.
done any other full-time job. Only 6 months.
Who did you work for?
This ad agency called Fluid, and they used
Okay.
to do a lot of ads in Soho. I remember when I was in university, I was like, man, these guys are so cool. They're doing bars and lounges.
Right, yeah.
The websites are so cool. I want to.
Yeah.
And it was a dream. When I had my cancer, I actually applied. Oh, I didn't talk about this one. Dude.
Go for it.
All right, real quick. This is going to be my show, but anyway, I'll
Yeah.
do it for our
Yeah.
our listeners. Hey, you know what? Let's put that for the Patreon.
Oh, let's do that.
Let's
okay.
do that. Yeah. All right, because we just hit the 47.
So just like let's tease a little bit. What are we
Yeah.
talking about on
So
the
we're
Patreon?
gonna on the Patreon. We're gonna talk about again during my cancer days how I applied for a job.
Yeah.
And I got into this job to work and everything. And like the bizarre thing, I hadn't finished my chemotherapy treatment yet. When I went.
Oh wow, okay, let's
Yeah.
leave it there and continue the Patreon. Dude, thank you so much. That was absolutely amazing.
Cool.
There is a lot of stuff that me and I'm sure the listeners didn't know about you, and we really appreciate you. And we're very grateful that you're still here with us.
Until Monday.
Until Monday. See you guys.
See ya.